Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm coming to you with another video log. Remember that I'm going to constantly push these out to you so you can make sure you're in the know on how to do these projects. Now, after this one, you're just going to see me rolling them out so you can just go in there and take a look at the labs and get the work completed. So in this particular lab, we're going to build out a virtual machine or a virtual workstation. Remember, I told you earlier that I want to make sure you have a workstation at home so you can work off that workstation, and that's what we're going to do here. In my other video logs, you'll see a detailed step-by-step by doing this, but because you guys already know how this is played out, I'm going to just do the synopsis and get to the point of what we need to do here. Of course, you want to read through all of the material here to make sure you understand the lab. Do not pass your scenarios. Do not pass your objectives. The objective to this is to create a virtual machine and to use VirtualBox to do it. Plain and simple. So if I come to you and say, what was the objective of that particular lab, which is 1.1.1.4, is to actually set up a VirtualBox by using to set up a virtual environment by using VirtualBox. Moving forward. So now they have the bare minimum requirements in here. Know that you will need a lot more than this to run these devices. I must give a shout out to Oracle for creating this VirtualBox environment because it helps students a lot to be able to practice. And that's what I want to make sure that you do. So make sure you got more than the requirements. The requirements are just the bare minimum, and you don't want that. You want way more than that because your system is actually going to be slowed down. If you see me looking that way, it's because I'm looking at my notes to make sure I'm following this, but you have the notes right here in front of you, so you're going to see me shrinking this down and up, and then at some point I'm just going to get tired and move forward. This is going to be a real simple process, so you should be able to get through it in no time. I just want to pick out some particulars because a student emailed me and stated that these guys should know this or that. So I want to make sure that you understand how to do it. So let's move forward. Now, here's the VirtualBox link right here. Like I said, I'm not going to read through it. This is something you can do and you need to do. I already been through it, so I don't need to consistently read it. So what I'm going to do is hit Control and click on this link. Now, when I do that, it actually takes me to Oracle website. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to Oracle for creating this VirtualBox because it allows our students to have the tools they need to access to do the work. Now, you can see that the platform that we're working on is Windows. Now, you have multiple platforms in here. You have the Linux platform. You have the Mac platform. You have so many platforms. Remember, that's a key word in when you get an interview. They trick you up on an interview. They'll say, so tell us, what platform do you work off of? What they really mean is, what operating systems do you know how to fix, configure, troubleshoot, and all that? So that's when they use that term platform. I know you guys already knew it, but I thought I'd throw it out there just in case somebody don't understand how important knowing platform can play a role in your actually getting hired. So all you have to do is click install Windows, the Windows installer. Now I already have this downloaded on my computer, so I'm not going to install anything because it will take up so much time, and we already 5 minutes into the video. So just make sure you download it to your computer. Now in the download process, majority of your files will be downloaded into the downloaded folder. Make sure you know that's where your files are going. Or, like in my case, I redirect my files to go straight to my desktop. So that's something I like doing, but your system should be set up to go to the download folder. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it anymore. Now the next section right here, you can see wants you to actually download the VM or the virtual machine or the operating system that you will be using. Remember, we call it VM, we say virtual machine. Basically, it's the operating system that you will be using. This particular operating system is called Security Onion, and what Security Onion has is a multitude of tools built inside of it that will help you do cybersecurity exercises. So these tools are tools that you will see in the industry, but also remember they got industry tools out there too. But for you as the lay person coming in, these tools are way, way adequate to help you learn how to secure systems. So here's one of the questions for you. Now, you know I create discussion questions, and I'm looking at the discussion questions, and I so far only have a few people that answered the question. Remember, you have to do all of the work. No excuses, people. Don't tell me, oh, I didn't know I had to do that. Okay, do that and see what happens. So, and that's not a threat, that's a promise. Anyway, the discussion question for this particular lab is basically going to be this. Go to your favorite website, use Google Chrome or Google search engine, and type in Security Onion and look at the plethora of tools that Security Onion has in there. And tell me, out of all of them tools, which one would you really like to learn? Remember, it's going to be Wireshark in there, etc., etc. Which ones would you really like to learn? Once again, I have already downloaded these files to my desktop, so I'm going to switch over to my desktop now just to show you that I have them there. And there they are, right there on my desktop. You see the Security Onion tool, VM, okay? And you see VirtualBox. Now, I already opened up VirtualBox, but when you run VirtualBox by double-clicking on it, all you have to do for VirtualBox is go next, 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 all the way till you get to finish. Do not change anything in VirtualBox. Just hit next, 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 finish, you're done. So I'm going to cancel out of this because I already got it. Now, in VirtualBox, you will see that this is how it will look once you open it up. Pretty nice environment. I mean, it's a real solid environment, and the Oracle people consistently work on this to give us a tool that will actually help us be better. You know, this is what we call open source, and it's part of the GNU organization. And what this allows you to do is use tools like this really to enhance your skills and better yourself. Okay, so now that you have it open, the next step it wants you to do, and I'm going to pull up the file again, is pretty much just go to open up VirtualBox, file appliance, etc., etc., etc. Now, one of the things it does want you to do is to reinitiate the MAC address box. It's a box at the bottom, and we're going to get a chance to see that. So I'm going to go ahead back and open up VirtualBox. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you can see it. And now you see here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to File. For File, I'm going to go to Import Appliance. So this basically the steps. Just follow the steps. Don't try to change up nothing. Follow the steps. I'm going to click right there. Okay, this will open up. You see that the source is your local file system. That's your hard drive. And you see right here, you got a folder here. So click the folder and voila. Now, like I said, this is where things get a little shaky for some people. You must understand, where did you download the folder? You know why I downloaded my folder. I downloaded it to the desktop. Where did you probably download it? To your download folder. So here you go. Here you got desktop. There it is right there. But if you look in my download folders, you see multiple folders in there. When we get started deeply in this class, we're going to use all of these particular VMs. Remember, we're going to use Kali Linux. We're about to use Security Onion, etc., etc., etc. We're going to have our own CyberOps Workstation. So we're going to really be able to dig in, and we're going to put it all in VirtualBox. Now, once you get really, really good at it, you can go ahead and create your own computer that has all these systems on, and really skill up. Right now, you're just creating a virtual environment, but eventually you're going to get to the point where you're going to say, well, it's time for me to have a computer that's just dedicated to doing these security techniques so you can really fulfill the practice, practice, practice. You have to keep practicing. If you go through the lab once, that's good. You completed the lab. But go to that lab where you can actually make sure you understand the particulars and that you can do it without having to look at the lab. And I'm going to show you that skill because that's a skill that you really need to get used to. Remember, you're going into a SOC environment, or as they say, a security environment. And each one of these departments that deal with security, you must know how to do the work. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my desktop because I already got the workstation right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and click open. Now you see it right here. I'm gonna go down here and click next. That's all you have to do. Don't get creative. Now in this particular section, do not do anything unless it asks you to do some particular thing. Everything is already checked for me. Now it's gonna be particular things. Let's go back to the lesson. Like it wanted you to initialize a particular section right here. Now just understand, in older versions this may be in there, in newer versions it may not be there, but if you don't see it, don't worry about it, okay? So if I come right here and I pull up VirtualBox and I take a look around, where's the initialized whatever box, and you don't see it, don't worry about it, because like I said, VirtualBox is always changing, okay? But don't you go in there and make changes. They're always upgrading it and making changes to it. And as you can see, there's no menus or anything you have to drop down on. It says include only NIC network adapter MAC addresses. So these things you don't want to worry about. So don't mess with it right now. Just go ahead and click import. Now in some videos online, some of the guys gonna go change and make changes to it. Wait until you get to the advanced level before you do that, okay? If I click on restore all defaults, look at what's happening. Nothing, because it's already there, okay? Applying, you don't have to click on anything and make any changes. Just go right ahead and leave it like it is and click import. Now I know that's going to be hard because you probably went and searched other videos, and in the process of searching other videos, you made changes to things and you wondering why things haven't changed. Okay, so at this point here, just know that this particular application is loading up into the VirtualBox. So right now, that's what's happening. Now I'm gonna move this along in this session. So if you see the screen look like it took a real quick jump and it's over with, that's only because I moved it along. Okay? So let me go ahead and speed it up. Okay, now you can see that we have our VM in there. Everything is great. So let's go ahead and check our notes and see what it is actually looking for now. So I'm gonna go back to the note sheet. And so we put it in there. We didn't have to actually reinitialize. Lord, blah, 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 blah. Let me stop. Anyway, reinitialize. We imported it in. Now it wants us to start the virtual machine. Now, this is where you'll begin to make some really changes to it. And what all this is before we go into it. So let me just take a second to explain that. What you're about to do here is just simply choose the right NIC card that is attached to your computer. On this particular laptop I'm using, I just have a wireless NIC card. So I'm going to choose the wireless network NIC card. If you got a desktop, you choose the desktop NIC card. But if you're running into any problems on what NIC card to choose, just give me a call or send me an email. We'll sit down and walk through in Zoom how it should be done. But don't make it complicated. But what I will say, some people have a desktop that has a wireless card. If you are going to use your built-in NIC card where you plug in an RJ45 cord into it, make sure you use that. Just know which NIC card you're using so you don't have any problems. So I'm going to go back to it right here. and I'm going to go ahead and start it. And once I click start, you're going to get a chance to see what actually. So it's actually running in the background right now, getting ready to initialize and start this process. Now you see the file that pops up saying, hey, we need a NIC card to actually go forth. So I'm going to click right here. And once I click there, it's going to give me the option in my bridge adapter to choose what particular NIC card. Now, I'm going to use my wireless NIC card. So you want to use the NIC card that you have in there, and that's the one I'm going to use. Now, it's a lot. If you go around here messing around in other classes, I teach how to use the network. I chose to show you how to use NIC and all that. But I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to mess around with it. I'm going to keep it like this because it's going to work the way I want it to work. So I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to let it go ahead and start the process of building up. That's how simple this should be. I know we can get out there and we can just start getting really creative in doing things in here. Don't get creative. And if you're watching someone else's video, just make sure that you have the same setup that they have. And that'll be impossible because you don't know what they actually have. When these two screens pop up, I tend to just close them because I don't need them. Now you can see I'm at the website with the security analyst. Now it tells us to actually put in a password. So I'm going to go look for the password. It's a standard password, so you don't have to worry about nobody getting some secret password. And here they go, right here. So it's just CyberOps. CyberOps. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that CYYBEROPS and see if I got it right. Okay, people, this is it. Now, we have some labs to do in here. We have some work to do in here. I'm not going to really look around. I'm just going to do some basic stuff. But now you have on your desktop a virtual environment where you can go do every one of your labs in here. But you also have net labs where you can go do every one of your labs. You also will be working out a NetAccount where you'll have your book and your reading. You are up and you are ready to go. So the only other thing that I'm going to do another example on how to install Packet Tracer on your computer. Basically the same way, but I'm going to have you install Packet Tracer where you can do those few Packet Tracer labs that we have. But other than this, you should be up and ready to go. Now, important things. This is really important. You know, come Sunday, 11:59, I have to make a decision. So I'm hoping that the decision is a plus for all of us. But all of your work must be completed. No excuses. Anyone who has an excuse, I don't want to hear it. Now, I'm going to reference a book, and I'm going to put the description of the book down at the bottom of my web address, because I want you, when you get a chance, to read this book because it's important. And the reason I'm bringing up this book is because you hear a lot of authors talk about it. It's about taking ownership of your life and the decisions that you make. It is called Extreme Ownership. And I read the book. When I got through with it, I read it again. And now I'm actually going to download it onto my my audio log and listen to it listen to it. So it's important. Extreme ownership. It really takes you and puts you in the position of being responsible for your life. And if you're going to work in the IT industry, one of the unique and great things that I love about the IT industry is that we are able to work independently. Most of the job descriptions that you see out there, they're going to say, need someone who's a self-starter who can work on their own. A lot of people can't do that. So I'm going to put the name of that author in a book in the description called Extreme Ownership. Get that book and take ownership of your life. This is Professor Sistrunk. I have enjoyed myself, and I'll see you in the next video log, or as I like to say, the next lab I'll be doing. I'm going to go through each and every one of them every day. I'm going to send you a lab. So starting today, going forward, Every day I'm going to produce a lab for you so you can see how simple and easy this work is, but it takes dedication and commitment. Extreme ownership. Get that book. Have a nice one.